Hopefully folks will enjoy the weather while they're here.
Yeah, it would be a little warm. I know we're above where we should be normally, Brittany, but we'll get back to normal at some point next week. Won't matter. The tournament's here this week, though.
Yeah, it's essentially where we're normally supposed to be is 80. Today we were 85. Next week we were looking at 75. So you average them together and you do get that normal temperature for this time of year. But the roller coaster ride continues. We were really wet earlier this week, and now we're in a drier pattern here over the next few days. Cloud cover still abundant, though, as moisture is still lingering high up in the atmosphere. Current temperature sitting at the 83 degrees in Charlotte. Highest today was 85. So we're starting to see that downward trend. 90 degrees right now in Chirag. That was the hottest temperature we saw across the board today. And those spots could be feeling like the mid to upper 90s throughout the afternoon tomorrow. Now, there is a chance for some isolated storm activity on Friday in the Charlotte area, but most of the metro stays dry. In fact, over the next few days, really the only time frame that I think we will see rain at Quail Hollow is early Saturday morning. So that might impact things as they're getting ready for the tournament to kick off once again on Saturday, but it's not going to impact actual gameplay or people who are out and about. Most of you not heading out there between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. On Saturday morning. Right now you can see satellite and radar products, mostly dry conditions, a few storms over on the eastern side of the North Carolina. But again, what we're watching is coming in from the north and the west tomorrow morning. Here's Friday, paused here at 11 o'clock. This is what we call a weakening MCS. It's a mesoscale convective system that will provide that isolated chance for a few supercells tomorrow morning. Now notice who this is impacting, areas along and north of the I-40 corridor. So when you see this potential, folks across the metro, not a concern here. In fact, most of this is only the mountains and foothills, and it moves through very quickly. But I do still want folks there to be prepared for some heavy rain, gusty winds, and even some brief hail tomorrow morning especially. Best chance between about 10 o'clock and I would say noon time tomorrow across the Charlotte area. Elsewhere, we're dry and quiet. Here's that best chance for rain, though. Again, early Saturday morning. Here's 5 o'clock. Here's heading closer to 8 o'clock. And then you can see it's pretty much out of here by the latter half of the morning. That first area of rain does look to stabilize the atmosphere, and I do think we'll keep things pretty dry heading into Saturday afternoon. Low confidence in a Sunday event. I'm keeping in that 20% chance of rain just in case, but this has been trending very dry over the past few days. So again, it's not something I'm concerned about there as we get closer to Sunday. Here's what the capping inversion looks like. I mentioned this earlier in our newscast, talking about the fact that if you have the cap, which is essentially a layer of warm air that keeps storms from developing, you can't get storms rise high enough in the atmosphere to see an impact. That's what we have in place tomorrow. If that cap were to break, that's when we could start to see a better chance for storm activity. Again, that's still north of the I-40 corridor. The cap really not going to be a driver here of the storms that we see here in the Charlotte area. So 20% chance of rain tomorrow, but most of that is north. On Saturday, I have bumped up our rain chances to 30%, not because it's going to rain all day, but because that early rain is going to be impactful. So just want to make sure folks are aware of that. 20% there on Sunday. So again, every single day, not a washout. And then we are drier heading into Monday with that cooler and drier air that Colin just mentioned heading into the majority of next week, Thursday and beyond into Friday and next weekend.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Brittany.